Hi, this is Monument Mom, and I am joining you this evening to talk about 10 resolutions that I'm going to take on to improve my homeschool year 2019. So this video is done in a collaboration with Ingrid over at Mommy and Mia Homeschool Chronicles and April from the Simple Rugged Path. I got through that without stumbling. Sometimes it's just such a tongue twister to get through. Those wonderful women have invited me to participate on this collaboration where we will share with other YouTubers what we plan to do to have a great 2019 in our homeschool. So I have taken the time to write them on some Post-its, and I'm going to jump right in because time is of the essence. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Monument Mom. I'm here to talk about all things living life and homeschooling on a very small budget because many of us are working with limited resources. And even if you're not working with limited resources, you might want to use your money and time wisely. I always think that's a good thing. So my motto is that I do and teach you how to live life and have an abundant life with a few cents to spare. So if you are new here, welcome. And if you are a subscriber, thank you for joining me again. Time is of the essence, as I always say, so let's jump right in. So for my 10 things that I will do in 2019, the first is to start my day with prayer. I think many of us get up and we jump right out and we miss the most important thing. And that's really having that secret time, that special time. I guess it doesn't really have to be secret, but it does need to be sacred and quiet before the kiddos and everyone gets up and moving about. Time with the Lord. So that is one thing I will make sure I do every day. A lot of times it is done, but not all the time. And so when I'm rushed and I notice that I have not done my devotions, I really feel a difference in our homeschool day. So number 2 is to incorporate more read aloud time. I listen to a podcast called a Read Aloud Revival, and I think it's great. They have wonderful ideas on how to incorporate read alouds and picture books for children of various ages. A lot of times we cut that back when they get to be a certain age, and this podcast talks about how to get through your day and really incorporate read alouds as not just school time, but just family fun time. And so that's one thing I really want to do is continue to have more read alouds. Number 3, incorporate more games. There are a bunch of game schoolers on YouTube and they look like they have a lot of fun. We do play a lot of games, but not as many as I would like to do. So I have vowed to use what we have. And even we sometimes make up our own games. So I think I will vow to incorporate more games into the day. And actually today we played Professor Noggins. It was like a U.S. geography game set. We weren't even studying that necessarily, but it's just a great way to learn. And so even if you're not a homeschooler, playing these games can enrich your children's lives. So number 4 is review the plan weekly. So a lot of times we will plan at the beginning of the year. Things change, emergencies, life happens, you go back to work, you stop working, whatever the case is. I think I work best when I review my plan on a weekly basis. So that means I don't want to leave it to Sunday because Sunday is my Sabbath. So I want to set aside some time where I am reviewing the plan to see, 1, if everything was covered, if there's something, 2, if there's something that needs to be revisited, or 3, do I just want to add more fun into the upcoming week? I know everything can't be fun, ha ha, he he, but I don't think we need to make the learning experience drab and boring either. So I'm going to do those quick checks as I'm planning what we will do. This will also give me a time to reduce anxiety. So in another video, I talked about how not having a plan creates anxiety. So I think if you plan too far out and you have all these lesson plans and folders and things pulled together, and then you have to change for the upcoming week, because those plans may have been based on what you could do. Let's say you planned in June. Now that things have changed, you probably get a little anxious because everything isn't exactly how you planned. But for me, planning on a weekly basis really does work. Sometimes I do it on a Friday night. There are a couple of homeschool moms, Chantel with Endercheck Academy and Tina with Homeschooling and Oils, that I usually talk to on Friday night. Sometimes that Friday night goes into Saturday morning, no joke. And so during that time, we will often just brainstorm on other things that we could be doing in our homeschool. And so I'm taking that time sometimes to plan along with another homeschool mom that lives in another state in another country. So let's see, number 5, stay within my budget. I get so excited when I look at Pinterest and, oh gosh, YouTube. I mean, you guys are doing amazing things, but you're also spending a whole lot of money collectively. And so I get excited when I see, a game, a book, a curriculum, a trip, and then I want to go out and I want to do those things. And so I'm going to put a moratorium to that. In a previous video, I talked about I was stopping my Dollar Tree hauls because that had gotten out of control. I'm going to probably just curtail some of my spending at the thrift stores as well, because truth be told, I have a lot of items already, and most of you probably already have a lot. And I also participate in a number of swaps with moms. Sometimes they're not even official swaps. It's just a mom that saw either on a video or in talking with me that we needed something, or we were doing some unit and she said, oh, I have those resources. We're not using them anymore. You can have them. So I think there's a way for us, if we're really creative, to get our lessons done, maybe add in some additional resources, or maybe not. Maybe it's just being thankful for what we have and using that, because a lot of us probably have items that have never been opened. I talked about that on my video about the winter break. There were kits, science kits that we had never opened, like mail science kits. There were Magic School Bus kits and Google kits. There were all these kits that we had never opened. And I made a point to open those boxes and use what we had during the winter break. So again, what was my number? Gosh. Oh, the stay within my budget. That was number 5, to stay within my budget. Right now, my budget is 0. I'm just going to say that. Unless, and I've said this before, unless I'm participating in a collaboration, I am not spending any money. I said for 60 days. Well, let's just see. Oh my gosh, but I did buy a few books recently. See, now I'm like really telling on myself. I purchased a few books recently, but I also got a huge stack of books. I'm going to see if I can do that video again. I did a video and then I realized there was a blooper in there. I had to take the video down. But anyway, let's just say I got a bunch of books and I spent very little money. I'm going to use some of them for unit study. I'm going to give some to some of my homeschool friends. And all that is to say, I did a whole lot of talking. All that is to say, I am not spending any more money. So I will swap items with people. I will go to places where I know I can get free books. In my community, they have a lot of the little libraries. I don't know if you have them in your community, where people have built libraries out of various materials and they're like on their front lawns. And you can put books in there and you can get books out. And you don't have to pay anything. So if I want to add some additional books, I know we have the public library, but I have a habit of keeping books much longer than I should. And even if we are not assessed fees because it's an educational account, I don't like holding on to books that long or videos because other people would like to have them. So all of that is to say, because here I go again, on and on and on. All that is to say, I'm not spending any money. Number 6, keep school time sacred. So with the, collaborations and other social media and phones and on and on and on distractions. And so we wonder why our kids are often distracted. Sometimes the parents are distracted as well. So what I have decided to do is school time will be school time. I'm not moving forward. I'm not even checking if someone posted on Facebook what they did. I'm not even doing that until my day has ended, because if I go on, I'll get sucked in, and before you know it, time has passed. My child needs a new assignment. I'm doing other things, and I don't think it's fair to them. I think we need to just be in that moment. And so I am, for that reason, compartmentalizing my time on social media and just focusing on what we need to do. I need to make my family know that they are important. And so they know that, but recently the social media thing has snuck in. And so if I'm telling everyone else that they need to put devices away and we need to just focus, then I also need to do that. So here we go. Number 7, again, use what I have purchased. So the 6 and the 7, the 6 would stay within my budget, but the 5 would stay within my budget, but the 7 was to use what I have, not buying anything. It's great if we swap. I saw a book that Ingrid had and I wanted it. That's great. We can do that. But no more of this going to the store and spending money, because in America, we spend a whole lot of money. We are so big on consumerism. My Lord, we spend a whole lot of money, and it is unnecessary. So when there are times like this government shutdown or any other time of uncertainty in our lives, we freak out. But when we think back, we have spent so much money on things that we did not need to spend money on. So with that, I'll just move on. Number 8, give praise and rewards and encouragement. When I look back, I don't think I do enough of that. So today there was an aha moment. And I'm not saying you just hand out awards and praise kids all the time, because that also sets up, I think, some false sense of, I don't know what the false sense would be, but it's in life, every day is not going to be great for them, and people are not going to always give them rewards and praise. And so I think there needs to be some delicate balance there, because we don't want to set them up that when they leave our nest and in college or other places, that they fall into this deep depression thinking they're not great or their work is not worthy, because we have always built them up with your work is fantastic. So I think there should be a mix, and I don't think I have just even done enough of that. So today, there was a language arts assignment with some copy work, and my son did pretty well with that. And he did pretty well with his algebra, both of which sometimes he'll just get distracted. His mind will just go off other places. And so he stayed focused and he did the work correctly. And so I just praised him for that. I also talked about having a prize box. I stocked that during the Christmas holiday season. So again, I won't be buying anything to go in that box, but that's another way that we can give out praise and rewards and encouragement. Number 9 is to keep to breaks. So we school year round. This is our first year. 18-19 was our first year going into a year round homeschool schedule. And so with that, there are breaks built in. And so I want to make sure I adhere to the breaks, because we all need breaks as an adult and kids need breaks. And so I want to make sure that I am adhering to the break schedule, because believe it or not, if we have set it, the kiddos are counting. They're marking it on their personal calendars. And so they will remind us when we kind of go over the break that they had anticipated. And then number 10 is to just continue to enjoy the journey, enjoying the journey that God has set before me. It is not the journey that anyone else is on. And so with that, I'm going to get away from comparison. And I know a lot of people say, don't compare your YouTube channel or your life, whatever. They say that, but I think that we often do that. Even if we don't admit to it, in some way we do. And so I'm not saying that it's not good to be encouraged by another homeschool mom or friend, but you don't want that, what they're doing, their model, their life, their journey, to supersede and take over anything that you have planned or want to do. So with 10, I'm just going to continue to enjoy the journey that is for me. And I think, again, when I focus on my home and my child and not on doing the learning time and not on Facebook, when I focus on the journey that God has for me and not comparing, when I start off my day with the word, when I incorporate fun into our lessons, all these things come together to make a wonderful 2019 year. And I won't say school year because, it's 2018, 2019, but it makes for a wonderful time in school and learning. And so I hope there's something that I've said that will encourage you to make some resolutions for 2019 for your family and your homeschool life. Again, my name is Monument Mom. I am a mother, mom that homeschools, and I live life abundantly on a very small budget. So I hope that if you have not subscribed, that you will today. Hit the button and then the bell for notifications. With that, I wish you the best evening ever, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Bye.